Hello and welcome. As I wait for all of you to join from your notifications, I'm just going to go ahead and share this to my business page and my group. For some reason, when I use BeLive, I can't go straight to my business page or my group. But that's okay because then you guys get the info too. So let me just share it real quick to Happiness and Heals. As you jump on, go ahead and say hello, leave your name so that I can say hello back. Just one more. Okay, I guess I won't be sharing it to my business page because it's not allowing me to. And I don't want to take up too much of our time with that. But welcome. Today, what I wanted to talk to you about was human design. So I've been posting a lot about human design over the last few months and sharing parts of my human design, sharing offers around it and stuff. And one of the things I keep getting back from people is, it sounds neat, but I have no idea what it is. And so I wanted to take this live and just share some of the basics of it. So if you're already familiar with human design, this may not be the live to connect with, maybe a different one. But if you're someone who's seen me talk about it and you're like, what is this? Or you've never pulled your own design and you don't really understand how it can impact you and how it can change your life and your business, then this is the live for you. We're just going to be going over the basics so that you can understand what it is. So human design is, I want to say a theory, a science, they call it a science, philosophy, whatever, that was developed in the 1980s, and it incorporates a few different schools of thought. So it incorporates astrology, the I Ching, the Kabbalah, and the chakra system. So if you're familiar with any of this kind of alternative or new age sort of stuff, you might see some resemblances in your chart, or as I'm talking about stuff, or as you're researching it on your own, because it does incorporate things from those philosophies as well. And that's one of the reasons why, in order to get an accurate human design chart, you need to know what time you were born. Now, for those of you who don't know what time you were born, at least in the United States, that's on your long form birth certificate. If you don't have that, you can get it by getting in touch with the county that you were born in. So as long as you know where you were born and when, you should be able to get a hold of it. I know I've had to help a couple people go through that process, not too many, but I've had to help a few. And it definitely is possible. Just be patient. It might take a week or two, maybe even longer. But in the cases that I've helped with, they've all been able to get it for free. They've just had to look into it. So I definitely, if you're interested in this, I strongly encourage you finding out the actual time that you were born so that you can get the best and most accurate chart for yourself. Okay, so on your chart, you're going to notice that there's different colors. And of course, it's different from other people that you might compare it to. It's going to look really foreign to you at first, and that's okay. There is so much information in your chart. It's like impossible for me to go on a live and share with you what each and everything means. You don't even really need to know all of it. There's a few things that you need to know from the get-go so that you can actually start living your design and start coming into alignment and start living from a place of prosperity and fulfillment and joy. And then you can dive deeper as the time goes on, and just add a few things here and there. One of the things I notice is that when I'm working with people, especially if I go and give like a free talk, or I'm sitting in a group of friends and someone asks me about it and I start sharing, like they'll pull up their chart and then all of a sudden they want to know everything. But what I want you to know is that's kind of like being a kindergartner, but wanting them to teach you what a senior in high school needs to know. Like there's steps along the way. You've got to get there. What'll happen is that'll just be too much information for you to take in, and then you won't be actually applying it and taking action in your life. And that's really, really what we want you to do. So today, what I want to share with you is there's 5 different types of profiles, or profiles actually for the numbers, 5 different types of people in human design. And this is the foundation of what you'll learn. So this is the first and most important thing for you to learn about yourself. It explains how your energy, your auric field around you, interacts with everyone else. Okay, so there are the 5 different types. There's the manifester, the generator, the manifesting generator, the projector, and the reflector. And each of those types interacts differently. So it matters for you to know who you are so that you can be in charge of your own energy as you go out and interact with the world. But you can also take it a step further and learn more about your family's human design, or even like your employees if you employ anyone, or even like have contractors, because it'll help you understand how you interact with each other. Okay, so manifestors are self-contained. They have a lot of energy to go and catalyze things and get things started. They need to inform people of what they're doing because they have a tendency to take off and just go get it done, right? And then everybody else is left around them going, wait, what just happened? So that's something you'd want to know, especially if you have a manifestor in your life, is getting them to understand that you'd just like them to inform you, just tell you what they're planning on doing, because they don't need your feedback. They don't need to discuss what they're going to do because they already know. They have an inner knowing of what it is they want and what it is they plan to do. They just need to inform those around them, right? Then we've got the generator. And so what they need to do is to wait to respond. So they're looking at things in their environment and other people, and they're waiting to be able to say yes or no to something, right? So the best thing you can do as a generator is either give yourself yes, no questions or have somebody give you yes, no questions. And if you have a child or a partner or somebody that is a generator, knowing to speak to them with yes, no questions is hugely impactful. Because then you can do things like, instead of saying, where do you want to go to dinner? You can say, do you want to go out to dinner? They can, yes, no. And then you can say, do you want to go to Applebee's? Do you want to go to whatever? And they can yes, no. And you'll get an answer much, much faster than if you just say, would you like to go out to eat? Where? And then they're kind of left, it's just not their natural decision-making process, right? And the manifesting generator is a combination of these 2 profiles. So where it differs from the manifestor and the generator to be the combination of a manifesting generator is that you respond with a yes, no, but then you have to taste the action. You have to actually go out and do a little bit of something, and then you make a final yes, no decision. And that's when you commit and follow it all the way through to the end, okay? So just as an example, if you were asking a manifesting generator, do you want to go to the movies? They say yes. So then you go and you get in the car, and on the drive there is them tasting the action. And all of a sudden they're like, ooh, actually I don't want to. I would much rather go shopping. That's when they make the final decision and they say no to the movies. And then you redirect to what it is. Now, generator, on the other hand, would have said yes to the movies, and then they would have followed through with the movies whether or not they changed their mind in the process. Okay, so a projector. This is one of my favorite to work with because they underestimate how much rest they actually need. Yes, Paige. So Paige, I am not a manifesting generator, but my husband and both of my children are. So I, yes, have learned so much about manifesting generators. Actually, both my parents and my sister are as well. We've got a lot of them right around me. So yes, knowing to taste the action and then to change directions when it no longer feels good for you. You can totally jump ship and change directions, whereas a generator is committed all the way through. So projectors. The reason I like to work with them so much is because they tend to live their lives like generators. They tend to have people around them who believe that they need to be generators with this constant source of energy and to be able to work the 40-hour work week and just kind of go about this kind of quote normal life. But they don't actually have consistent life force energy within their design. They require a lot more rest. They require a lot more reflection. And a lot of times when I talk to people like that, they're like, oh, thank you. Because all they want to do is take an afternoon nap every day. And rest, when I say rest, it doesn't literally need to be sleep. It can be relaxing and reading a book for enjoyment instead of learning. It can be zoning out and watching TV. It's just downtime for you alone to be in your own energetic space without other people around you. Because as a projector, you're constantly bringing in other people's energy and then you're focusing in it and sending it back out. So you're very good at things like networking and organizing people for the greater good, right? So you'd be very good as like, let's say an office manager, where you can see what everybody else is doing and you can naturally pick up on what they're gifted at, what they enjoy, what they don't enjoy. And then you can just organize it all so that the team all works together for the greater good, right? One of the things about projectors is they really need recognition. They really need appreciation. So if you're in a relationship with a projector or you have a child that's a projector, make sure you're telling that child or person that you appreciate them and why. You know, like you want it to be sincere. So I'm not saying go out and say, I appreciate you, I love you, if you're not feeling it in the moment. But anytime that you do notice them doing something or just being them and you're overcome with appreciation, make sure you voice that out loud to them because they really need to hear that and receive that. And they also need you to honor their need for rest, especially if you happen to be a generator or a manifesting generator. You have tons and tons of sacral energy and you can just go from morning until night, all day, every day, especially if you're engaged in stuff that you love doing or that's the right action for you, right? And projectors can't do that. They can't keep up with that. And so they need someone who can recognize that and appreciate what they do bring to the table, okay? And then finally, there's reflectors. Now, reflectors only count for 1% of the population, and I've never actually worked with a reflector. But reflectors are people who take everything in, so everything that they're seeing in their environment and the other people, they bring it in and then they reflect it back to you. That's why they're called reflectors, right? So I'm told that people love to be around reflectors because they feel fully seen. They finally feel like someone totally gets them. But what you need to understand about reflectors is that they have no life force energy in them, right? They can reflect other people's life force energy, so it's not like they have no energy. It's just not consistent. They require a lot of time for reflection and contemplation. They require a lot of time all by themselves, not absorbing anyone else's energy. So if you happen to know a reflector, get to know them and honor their need for silence, honor their need for, I'm looking for a better word, but for being alone. Not necessarily alone, but you know what I mean? Like being in their own space. So doing things like gardening on their own, doing yoga on their own, like these quiet, meditative sort of things that they can get into all by themselves and get back into their own energy. Does anyone have any questions? I noticed that Paige joined. Through this interface, I can't see anything else. Let me scroll down over here and see if there's... Okay. Well, if you do have any questions and you happen to be watching the replay, go ahead and post your comment and I will be checking back in and I will follow up with you on that. For anyone who would like to go further into their human design and would like to know about their own and would like to know about the areas within their design that affect their abundance in particular. Now, abundance has to do with more than just money, though it will talk about money, but it also has to do with time, so energy management. It has to do with love, so relationships, right? We can look at your design and really get you on track there so that you can start committing to the things in your life that are really going to pull you into alignment and bring you into your purpose and feel comfortable letting go of the things that aren't really meant for you, aren't really things that you should be committing your time and energy to. And for anyone who commits to a human design session with me today, I am also offering a free life theme reading. So what that does is it goes into your conscious sun gate, which is the gate that kind of, I want to say leads your life, but it's like, I'm not coming up with a good word. It presents your life theme though. So it'll tell you like the overarching theme of your life and what you're really meant to do here. And I find that that's really, really helpful with people in helping guide them into alignment with what they are meant to be doing. So whether that's helping them in their business, guiding them into alignment, or just helping them in their personal life, guiding them into alignment. But that is yours free in addition to your human design reading if you sign up today. I did put the link in the description. It is sarahmwagner.com/abundant by design. And I'll put it again in the comments. Just go ahead and sign up or reach out to me if you have any additional questions before you sign up, okay? Thank you. Have a good day.